His connection? Where's his connection? Brother! Why? Turn your camera
What's
around.
up?
How are you?
You can't figure this stuff out. You're too old for this.
Mate, let me tell you, technology, when you've got 54 million followers, is a bit of an issue. I was scoping, I was going, there was this 11,000, 12,000. I was going, oh, get out!
What's happening? How are you?
I'm good, buddy. What? Jesus. Just tilt the camera up a bit. No. I want to see the top bit. Your missus been cutting your hair. Oh my goodness. Are you happy with
Look
it?
at that. Look sharp. It's beautiful. What's that?
That's why I'm wearing a cap. I got the I got some bad. Yeah, I got half an hour of bad
Did you
stuff.
get your head mowed?
Mate, I had the lawnmower out.
I was just gonna say that. How's the family?
We're good, buddy. We're good. Where are you? Are you Mumbai or where are you?
Yeah, we're at home. Just trying to get through, man. It's been difficult. It's been intense, all over the
Yeah.
world. It's been quite tough.
Mm.
Um, what's been happening in the UK? What's the situation like now?
Mate, we're exactly the same. We're in lockdown. We are completely locked down. I've not been up to much.
Mhm.
We've got two kids running around, but luckily we don't live in the city, so we're not stuck in an apartment like a lot of people.
Yes.
We've got space, so we've got garden. We opened the swimming pool today.
Mhm.
So we're very lucky that we've got space. But it's tragic what's happening, huh? Tragic, tragic, tragic.
I know. Sweet. You're at Wentworth, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got a nice garden out here. I mean, I'd love to be hitting
Mhm.
golf balls, but we've been told we're not allowed to. All the golf courses are closed, so I do a bit of chipping in the golf in the garden, but that's about it. Have you got space where you are?
Actually, we do have space. We went away to a farm
Mm.
before everything got intense. So we've been lucky. We actually have been in decent space ourselves, so we can walk around just within the compound. And yeah, as I was just gonna say, just be grateful. You don't know
Mm.
what people are going through, just being
I
locked
know,
in, and
I
I
know.
can feel for them. I see people just trying to get through these days. It's tough. It's tough to watch.
But I mean, in terms of you and in terms of your missus, you're obviously incredibly high profile, and you
Mm.
would be on the road now. I mean, I'd be in India now commentating and being on an airplane every day, going from ground to
Yeah,
ground. How nice is it
yeah.
though, from a family's perspective, to be able to spend good amount? I suppose I should ask your missus. I shouldn't be asking you this. To be spending time with each other all day, every day.
No, it's been wonderful. It's the longest we've spent together since we got married. Since we've been together actually. So I know
Really?
it's not, yeah, it's not ideal. We've never been in one place for this long.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, but yeah, that's been the case. It's not a good thing to, sort of single out the situation as something that you got an opportunity to spend time with. But
Yeah.
it is what it is. I mean, we are looking at the positives. We are being careful. You're being cautious, but at the same time, you have to appreciate family time. I was just
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
say, usually at this time, I'd probably be saying hello to you in Chinnaswamy or some of the other
Yeah.
stadiums,
Exactly.
not on Instagram Live.
Exactly.
So, yeah, these are
I
strange
know.
times.
It is, and they say that in the UK, it could be, if the public don't behave themselves, it could be a June lockdown. I mean, that's stuck in your houses until June to get rid of the peak of what's
Wow.
happening at the moment. I mean, and you say at least we have space. A lot of people don't have space. So, crikey,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
hope people behave for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, try and just do whatever they can to get through it,
Mhm.
and then hopefully we get through the rest of it. What are you missing most about not being able to be footloose and fancy free?
Nothing.
You're not missing anything
Nothing. I just told my brother,
apart from your barber.
my brother messaged me 2 days back and he was like, I'm dying. So in our place in Gurgaon, near Delhi, we have a gym in the basement. He's never used the gym. And now he's in the gym every day and he's understanding the importance of that gym. So he told me I can't take it anymore. I need to go out. I'm just getting stuck in the house and it's difficult. He's with family as well, but people are just not used to being home.
Yeah,
And that's when I told him, welcome to our side of the world, welcome to our life. This is our life
yeah,
every day. So
absolutely.
we we are in isolation every day.
That's true. Jesus,
Yeah.
especially you guys in India. I mean, at least here we can get out, and I think you love touring England and Australia and stuff where you can go to the beaches but I mean, in India, it's quite intense, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But, to be honest, we're just grateful that we're home. We're in one place, with all the
Mm,
travel restrictions now. Imagine if we were still on tour and stuck in some country, and
yeah.
could have been very, very difficult for everyone around, just stuck in different parts of the world. And I wanted to ask you, what's been the mindset of people in the UK? How are they dealing with the situation? How are they looking at things? And is there panic? Is there sort of,
Mate, there
confusion?
has been a reasonable amount of panic. I think people stockpiled for the first week or two a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't understand the situation at the moment. We live on the flight path at Heathrow, and you can still see some airplanes in the air. I saw one of the airlines grounded their fleet recently.
Yeah.
British Airways were talking about letting go of 30,000 people on leave at the moment, and so, I mean, I still don't understand how they haven't completely closed the borders here yet. When I came back from shooting that documentary a couple of weeks ago, there was quite a
Hmm.
big outcry. I flew in from, where was I? I was in, where did I fly? It was Mumbai or Delhi. I flew in from somewhere and I walked straight through the border. No one's checking temperatures. At least in India, they were checking our temperatures. Before I even went into the hotel in Delhi, we had our temperatures checked. Everything was being checked, but it was very lackadaisical here. And apparently, it's still the same way at the borders, which is, I mean, it's crazy to think it's going on like that. Crazy, and the numbers are just going. They
I know
skyrocketing,
that's
skyrocketing.
strange to hear. Honestly, our response has been quite good. I mean,
Yep.
apart from few people that you would have seen the videos who haven't really respected the guidelines being
Yeah.
laid out, and I just don't understand how that happens because if you're looking to address a larger issue, there's a thing of unity that
Mm,
everyone should have, which unfortunately hasn't been the case with everyone. I think 80% of the people have taken it on board, but still those
mm.
20% can be a huge, huge issue going forward. As you said, the spike is immense going into week 3 and 4. So I just hope that
Yeah.
people, get some sense into them and just
How are
stay
you
off the
training? Are
streets.
you training?
We actually got all our stuff put into a big car, and we got our stuff here. Everything that
Mm.
because I knew that if this goes on for longer, you still need to be able to train, and so I've got my lifting Olympic bar and plates, and there's a little garden to run around, and
All right,
so
E-man.
yeah,
Oh, all right, E-man.
me and Anushka have been training well.
Mate,
Yes.
I've seen it. Don't call it an Olympic bar. You need to be calling it something. Because the last time I saw legs like yours, they were hanging outside the nest. Little pencil legs. Here they are.
You know, it,
Little pencil legs.
it helps. It helps when you got big legs like yours and you still pop a calf muscle. I've never popped my calf in my life.
Mate,
Look,
remember that. It looked like somebody shot me.
it was in Pune. I knew I was standing in slips and I was like, what the hell just happened to him? So no use of big legs if you can't run. I'm sorry.
This is very true. And what I'm actually going to say now, just leave it, guys. Me and Virat are having a conversation here, and I know that there's a lot of people are very interested in this interview. We're just talking as friends, we're talking as buddies, and we're going to go back to 2009 now. We're going to talk about Bangalore, and we're going to have some fun. This is just Virat and I having some fun. This is not for any journalist to take this on one way or another way and to create ridiculous headlines. So please, if you're going to do that, then it's obviously going to finish off any conversations between people who just want to give normal fans some content. So just please respect the conversation. Dude,
Don't,
RC,
okay,
RC, what?
hold on. Don't
What?
worry about this big lecture because no one's heard you. This is gonna go
That's
off
true.
anyway, so
I
just
tried.
carry on.
Okay, I tried. I tried.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Listen,
Yeah,
RCB,
go on. Hmm.
talk to me about the bloke in the middle of the picture that I posted this morning on Instagram. There was a guy that I posted in between that guy that's perfect and pure and has the most amazing beard compared to this guy in 2009.
Well, I don't recognize him anymore, to be honest.
I do.
I know you do. I know you do. Yeah, I know. I know. Good old days, but we had a lot of fun. We
We,
had amazing times together. I think right from 2008. You
mm,
came in 2009, didn't you?
yeah, 2009 was, I think, yeah, that was my first season. Yeah.
Yeah, 9 and 10, you were with us.
Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
2009 is when we really sort of got it going. We really hit off well from day one. And yeah, they were good times. I mean, you obviously came in as the star player, like the big KP and, this all over South Africa, brew, bloody hell. Yeah, but it was fun. I remember all those days and playing with Jock and Dale and Mark Boucher as well.
And
Fun times. Rule off.
we had
Rule off.
Rahul in our team. We had
Yeah. Anil
Kumble in the
Kumble,
team.
Rahul Dravid,
Dale
Robin.
Steyn.
We had a gun team.
Yeah.
Manish came on board. Manish Pandey he got a century in that season.
Remember, he got a century there at Centurion Park.
Yep. You
What were
know
you
what's the
learning?
most? You
What were you
remember
learning?
Jesse Ryder and Rule of Vandermeer?
I forgot about those two. Jeez.
You
We won't
cannot
tell the
forget
story
about both of
Rudolph.
them in that season. They were the highlight of that whole season. How can you forget both of them?
That's
They
true.
were bad news. They were bad
Oh,
news together.
justice. That were that Rudolph won him over. You gave him anything that looked like a bottle of wine, and he just turned into somebody. It was, oh my goodness. It
I mean,
was,
the
yeah,
kind of
that
things
was
he's
funny.
done, I can't really talk about them.
Every single time I get asked a question about you, I always refer to the questions, even though you were a bit of a in
Yeah.
2009, you always sat next to the right players who you wanted to learn from the most. You had a very inquisitive brain when you were sitting next to the Callises, the Kumbles, the Dravi. You just wanted to learn, didn't you? You just wanted to be the best player.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious. I mean, for a youngster having all of these people around yourself when you came and you were at the peak of your career, and for me, it was just an opportunity to just absorb as much as I can. If I wanted to go higher and higher, I just had to do it. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me. There's different ways you can look at the IPL. Nowadays, there are a lot of youngsters who still ask those questions. I'm not sure
Mm.
of the other teams, but the people that we interact with, the guys in the Indian team, they ask those questions, which are, the right questions. So yeah, it's basically how you look at things, and I always want to just be the best version of myself, and learning from you guys was a no-brainer.
Did you think that you would become as good as you become?
Never. I was just talking to my coach the other day, 2 days ago. If someone told me 12 years ago you'll have these numbers after 12 years, I would have told them to get lost. No
Well, that's
chance.
amazing, huh?
I mean, just God's been kind. If your mind's in the right place, if
Mm.
you're thinking about the right thing, you have the right kind of vision,
Mm.
and to keep following regardless of all the noise around you, the
Yeah,
results follow. If you
yeah.
look at the numbers and keep striving for the numbers, then the numbers go down, the career goes down, everything is lost.
So what are
That's
you
something that I
striving? What do you strive for now? Every time you come out and bat, whether it be for RCB or for India, what like, you're just thinking end game is to win, and how do I win this game? You're not thinking about anything. There's no other clutter.
Not at all. Not at all. For me, the most important thing is how can I contribute to make my team win? Because that is what we started playing cricket for, when
Mm.
we were really, really small. So
Yeah.
I don't think why that intent should change, why that mindset should change.
Mm.
It hasn't honestly changed with me. There's a lot of things that people try and create in India. They try and, cook things up, stir things up. You
Yeah.
have experienced that a lot when you were playing as well. So
Yeah.
it's basically you just have to block the noise. And whenever I go to bat now, I understand that cricket is a small part of our lives, and I need to be able to make the most of the opportunity that I have in front of me.
Yeah.
And I have a larger responsibility now, to be able to maintain this culture of fitness,
Of
of
course.
taking the team in the right direction. And I mean, you just have to be grateful that you have this opportunity, and you
Yeah.
just need to make sure all your energy is in the right place to be able to do that.
Where did your nickname Chiku come from?
Chiku actually came from, MS has sort of made my nickname famous from behind the stumps in the stump mics people pick up. They call me Chiku actually like I'm their neighbor or something like that in India. They'll shout out, "Oh, Chiku, once photo, please." And I'm like, I have a name. You don't know me, but you can't call me Chiku.
Jesus, so when this all finishes, you're going to walk down the street, Chico!
Yeah, I get called out by the name of Chiku all the time. No one calls me Virat anymore. Either Kohli or Chiku. That's it.
It's amazing, man. I come
Um,
to India and they all call me Peter. I'm saying, who the fuck's Peter? Peter! 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 Who's Peter?
no, I got this nickname by a coach we had in the state team, actually the Ranji Trophy, our first class teams. And I used to have big cheeks back then. And I had in 2000, I remember
Sorry. You used to have what?
big cheeks.
Big cheeks.
Cheeks, yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying. I didn't hear you correctly.
I had big cheeks back
Yeah.
then. In 2007, I thought I'm losing hair. My hair's shedding. I'm having a massive hair fall. So I got my hair cut really short, like yours now. I look like a clown, and I have big ears. So my my cheeks stood out and my ears stood out. And so we used to have this comic in India, like a comic book when we were growing up
Yeah.
called Champak. It was called Champak.
Yeah.
And there was a rabbit in that comic.
Yeah.
That character's name was Chiku. So the coach called me Chiku the rabbit because I had big ears. So that's where the nickname came from. And then people started taking it up, and it went up to God knows where.
Brilliant. And tell me, RCB, a lot of people since this thing went out. I've had such a busy phone in the last 24 hours. I mean, it's crazy. Why? And one of the big things was they want to ask, why have RCB not won a title yet? I mean, we get asked it all the time. We have to try and explain it in the commentary box. It's like, oh my God, geez, just stop asking the same question. Do you get sick of the same questions?
Look, when you have in like history in the previous seasons as well, when you've had the biggest players who played for RCB, obviously there's going to be much more attention on the team. Now you see, even with this team, myself, AB, Chris Gale, Dale had played recently as well, and
Yeah.
all these great big players have played for RCB. So we're always going to be more in focus. But we actually spoke about it. We've reached 3 finals. We haven't won either single one of them. We've reached 3 semifinals. But yeah, those things are irrelevant. Those things are irrelevant as till the time you don't win that title. So look, we feel the same as everyone, to be honest. We keep talking about the team that we have. Even when we've had the best teams, we've just not been able to do it. But yeah, that's one of our main goals. We actually deserve to win a title, to be honest, because
Is that something that you are focused on now? We'll move on to Indian cricket in a minute, but is that something that, I mean, you've achieved almost every single thing in the game. Your numbers are crazy. Do you really want to win an IPL?
Actually, I've realized something, that to go after something so badly, it keeps running away from you. And I remember all the times when we've done well in RCB, we've never thought of whether we're going to win the IPL or whether we're going to reach the semis or knockouts or anything like that. But it's just that added pressure whenever we've played in the recent past. We've just thought, this is the season, and it's just blown us all over the place. So I think we just need to get that joy back. And at this stage of my life, to be honest, I give everything that I have on the field.
How old are you now?
Like I'm going to be 32 this year.
32?
Yes, sir.
Jesus. Okay. No, I wouldn't have guessed that. Right. I would have get 38, 39, somewhere around there.
32, 31. I'm 88 born, so how old am I now? I can't even count. I was shit at math.
There's the headline tomorrow. Virat doesn't know how old he is.
I'm 31. I'm 31 at the moment. Yeah.
If that's as bad as it gets, then we've done really well in this session.
I'm 31. 31.
31?
Yeah.
Okay. We get on to Indian cricket, and we talked about your transformation from 2009 to the person that you are now, and how fit you are, and how structured you are, and how much you train. Was that something that you desperately wanted to bring to Indian cricket? I remember playing against India when my first time I played against India was 2006. We toured India after that 2005 Ashes, and There was
Hmm.
Tendulkar, Laxman, Dravid, Kumble, Harbhajan, Ajit Agarkar, Zahir Khan,
Really?
Ashish Nehra. All these guys were playing. And I mean, you'd hit it to extra cover and you'd run four. Yes, no problem. You just run four. Whereas now, the team that you've got, you hit it to extra cover, you don't even think about running. Is that something that you've been so focused on and dedicated to bring into Indian cricket, that strive to make sure that in the field, we're the best?
Look, uh, I started playing in 2008. I saw 2009, 10, 11 is when we won the World Cup. When you played that shit shot and we drew the game in Bangalore. 11 is
Thanks.
when I got you out stumped down the leg side without
Hey,
bowling a
we're
legitimate.
going to get there. We're going to get there. Just talk about you.
Okay. So I saw 2009, 10, 11. These were my regular years with India. And then 12, that England tour when we came to England in 2011.
Yeah.
We lost badly there.
Yeah, you did. You got
2012,
whacked.
yeah, 2012 Australia tour was a difficult one as well. So I thought, there's always a natural transition that happens in every team. And I was lucky that I was in the center of that transition when it was happening. And I got the opportunity to see both sides of things, like what we were lacking as a side and what the world was catching up on, and they were becoming far more superior compared to us. So the plan was clear. I mean, when the next lot of players come in, this is the direction we're going to go in. And to be honest, I was lucky that I played with a group of players who were driven, similar age group, and together from number 7 or 8 in the world in Test cricket. For 3 years now, we've been number one. So it's been quite a astonishing journey. It's quite unbelievable to be honest, because we had no experience and we beat everyone, most places. We competed
Mm.
everywhere we went in the world, and it's just that to be able to come to the top of world cricket again has been a great journey. But then again, it gave us a vision, a goal to achieve, and all our focus was towards that.
And with the
Mm.
IPL, you see a lot of teams that come to India now, and they're a lot more competitive. I remember we came to India and actually
Yeah,
beat
yeah,
India in
yeah.
2011,
True,
2012, and that's because
true,
a lot of us actually feel at home in India as foreigners.
true.
India have an issue traveling abroad. They have a real issue traveling abroad. What do you think the biggest issue for you guys is traveling abroad? I'm
Look,
talking
now,
results.
now, to be honest, before when we used to tour, it used to happen sporadically. Like we would come to England every 3 or 4 years, and in
Yeah,
between there was nothing. But India, you guys would come every year for the IPL and get used to the conditions and so on and so forth. But now, when there's so much cricket happening, we don't feel any conditions are alien, to be honest. Now,
right.
I feel like now traveling to other countries and playing at home is a level field. Anyone can beat anyone anywhere because we're
Yeah.
playing each other so much in different conditions all the time. Australia, I remember we went to Australia for a whole tour, and then suddenly 3 weeks after that, they were in India playing ODIs against us.
Yeah.
That would never happen before. So now it's not a question of whether we know the conditions or not. It's all about the mindset, the fatigue, whether you play too much cricket, whether you're ready mentally, physically or not. So I think those are the challenges now. Now we don't feel like any condition is sort of alien to us, and that I think is the most exciting part.
Do you feel like you play too much? I remember in my career, I was having huge arguments and disagreements with the ECB because of my schedule. And all I wanted
Mm.
the ECB to manage was my schedule because I was playing every T20 game, every one-day international, every test match cricket. And I didn't want to miss out on the IPL, which is what guys
Yeah.
don't miss out on now. Do you feel like you play too much cricket?
Look, I've been taking breaks, honestly. I felt like last 2, 3 seasons I was doing too much, so I started
Yeah.
taking breaks every now and then, T20 matches here and there, maybe a ODI series here and there, because I didn't want to miss any Test cricket, to be honest. And T20 cricket in between, I just felt like there were too many games that had no relevance, and
Mm.
I'd spoken about it in the press as well quite a few times that you just can't have matches where you have zero sort of motivation or energy, and I
Yeah.
don't like to play like that.
Yeah.
But I've just thought about it. I've been playing 3 formats for 9 years now, including the IPL, along with captaincy for 6 years. So it's not easy. It's not easy,
No.
but
No.
I'll see. I'll see. I said 2, 3 years more. I think till the next World Cup. I'm gonna give it all and then figure out where I stand, which format, whatnot, all those questions later.
And obviously one of the biggest changes that you've made, and I know that, I mean, I campaign for wildlife all the time, and the thing that people hammer me the most about is eating meat. Now, you're vegetarian, you made that decision because, believe me, in 2009, 2010, when we hung out, you weren't a vegetarian. you're now,
No, no.
you're now a vegetarian.
Yeah, I wasn't a vegetarian till 2018 when we actually came to England. I left eating meat just before the test series started, and
Why?
I'd been thinking about it. I'll tell you the real reason. I mean, people use different kinds of reasons and they try and figure out themselves. So in 2018, when we went to South Africa, I got a cervical spine issue while playing a test match
You got
at
what?
Centurion. A cervical spine issue. One of the discs in my cervical spine, they bulged out and it compressed a nerve which was running straight till the little finger of my right hand. So it gave me a tingling sensation. I could barely feel my little finger on the right hand. I
Wow.
couldn't sleep at night. Yeah, it was hurting like mad. I couldn't sleep at night. And then I got my test done, and my stomach was too acidic. So my body was creating too much uric acid. My body was too acidic. So what was
Wow.
happening was, even though I was taking calcium, magnesium, everything, one tablet was not sufficient for my body to function properly. So my stomach started pulling calcium from my bones, and my bones got weaker. And that's why I got this issue. So that's why
Wow.
I stopped eating meat completely in the middle of the England tour to cut down that uric acid and the acidity in my body. And then I've never felt better in my life, to be honest. I felt amazing. It's almost been 2 years now, and it's the best decision I've taken in my life.
Really? It's amazing. I mean,
It's been
yeah, you look amazing. And I mean, I've tried that now. So I've seen all this and I watched that film, that Game Changers or whatever, that film.
yeah,
I
yeah,
think you were part of that film. And I mean, I have vegetarian days. Jess and I have vegetarian days at home. And you do feel so light. You feel amazing, don't you?
yeah, amazing. I mean, I've never felt better waking up. I've never
Yeah.
felt better when I have to recover after a game. I mean, if you make me play 3 games a week, which are intense, I'm at it 120% every game. I can recover within a day after a test match and go on another test match. It's so much better than being on meat. Being vegetarian now made me feel, honestly, I felt like, why didn't I do it before? I should have done it two, three
Yeah.
years earlier, to
Yeah.
be honest. It's completely changed everything. You start feeling better, you start thinking better, your body's lighter, you're more positive, you have more energy to do more. So, yes, overall, it's just been an amazing, amazing change. Are you guys doing it as well?
Thank goodness I don't have to play 3 games a week because there's no way in this world a South African can go without meat, dude. I do it for maybe 1 day or 2 days a week. If I'm feeling really generous, I'll give it 2 days. But there's no ways. I just can't do it. I mean, I got a beautiful barbecue out here. I mean, as much as I would love to, as much as you're trying to sell a great story, mm-mm. It just. I mean, and I do feel great. And that movie, mate, that Game Changers film that I watched, it really does paint a really good picture. But I just couldn't do it, mate. Couldn't do it. No way.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
but you talk about that that ability to be able to turn on every single day. I was running on a treadmill in geez, I don't know where it was, and MS came and jumped on the treadmill next to me. And
mhm.
first of all, to see MS in the gym at that stage, I was like, oh, Jesus, what are you doing in here? Um, and we started talking about you and started talking about your leadership. It was at the time that he was just starting to finish in that. And he said one of the things that he said that would interest him would be whether or not you would be able to maintain that energy on the field, that excitement on the field, that aggressive leadership on the field. And I said to him, I said, Jesus, I said, surely you cannot love cricket that much that you want to just start swinging punches every time you walk out onto the field. and you've done it. Why is it because of your diet or is it because of what's in between your ears? Not that there's much there. What is it?
Yeah, there's a bit of crazy up here as well. I wouldn't deny
I
it.
know.
But look, as I said, I mean, I know, and you can ask MS that as well. When I played under MS, I was in his ears every over. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can do that. there was a time where you had to field on the boundary. I would run from long on to long on. I wanted to be in the right place at the right time. Even now, even if I'm captain or not, I don't think standing on the field I need to behave myself because I'm captain. I need to be able to enjoy the game first and think about
Yeah.
strategy and all that later because that is who I am. So I cannot play any other way. I will give
Yeah.
120% every ball.
Yeah.
And I made a promise to myself the day I stop feeling like I can do it, I'll stop playing. I want to be
Really?
able to play till the time I play the way I play right now
Oh,
with the same
Jesus. So,
intensity.
so,
Otherwise,
so
I will
we,
not.
so we're going to have to keep talking over the next few years about how you want us to jump in a UFC ring every time you up on a cricket field.
I just like
Yeah,
to
you
get it going.
bad! I was going to swear a little bit, but I'll stop.
That's what my teammates and bowlers say as well. They say you celebrate more than us when we take a wicket.
I mean,
I
it's a
said I
good
can't
thing.
control myself.
It's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
thing.
good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah,
I
you
spoke to
need to
Rogan
enjoy
last
yourself.
week. I spoke to Rogan
Yeah.
last week, and we were talking about
Uh-huh.
sledging, and we were talking about aggression on the field. And he said, "Well, we do have a fairly aggressive leader." And I just started pissing myself. I was like, "Oh yes, yes, oh yes, just a very." I mean,
That
he's
helps. That
slightly
helps.
aggressive, huh?
Yeah, that surely helps. That surely helps. Anyone who's feeling a bit whether I should say something or not, they just need to look at me and say, "No problems, go for it."
But clearly you love the dudes off the field, and you just get into that. It's
Mm.
called white line fever, isn't it? Where you get over that white line, and I know there's
Yep.
millions of people who are going to watch this and are seeing this. You just have the white line fever where you will just do anything within the rules to win the game for India. It's simple.
Yep, absolutely. And it's look, I've known you for a lot of years now, and people say I've experienced something very strongly. When people don't know you, they have a very, very different picture of you that they paint in their heads. And I
Mm,
have no problems in people thinking that the person might be like this, but when you don't know the person, when you haven't interacted with the person, for someone to say that the guy is like that, I don't
yeah,
agree with that because
yeah.
you can't create a reality for someone else in your own head and then treat them accordingly. I
Okay.
never do that.
Yeah,
I would meet people. I would get to know you, even though I see your body language on the field and I feel like, oh, that doesn't seem really nice. But if you meet me outside the field and we got
mm,
along, I
yeah,
got along with Bouch. There were different views about Bouch as well. I got along with him amazingly well, with you as well. So it's about accepting people the way they are, and I think that's important. You
yeah,
step
yeah.
off the field and you accept people as just human beings. When your competitive spirit comes out, there's no problem in being competitive, being aggressive. You've had duels on the field. It never
Mm.
gets to physically punching someone in the face. I mean, it would never get to that. It's
Maybe.
basically just yeah. Maybe with you it could have a few times, but not with me. Not with me. I'm too small. I can't take on the big guys physically. That helps.
Does the IPL and the friendships that you've created in the IPL make it a little bit more difficult to, when you're playing against Australia, to give a volley to a teammate in another opposition, or does it not matter? When you're playing for India, you're playing for India, and I don't care if you play for RCB with me, without me, whatever it is, I'm going to beat you, and that's it.
Um, Look, IPL has definitely made things much better when it comes to respecting people, especially when you get to know someone.
Yeah,
You don't feel internally. I mean, I played against AB. Never in my dreams will I think of sledging AB. It just won't come to me naturally.
yeah,
I would just say, okay, if opportunity comes to me, I'm trying to take that opportunity with both my hands any day of the week. I want to get him out, but I won't
yeah,
get into his face in a way that it can spoil our friendship, our relationship. Because you
exactly.
understand at the end of the day, those things last you longer in life. So whoever you get to know, obviously, it's a mutual respect. Both ways, the line is not crossed. But
Mm,
otherwise, we're always looking for something
yeah,
spicy to get into the zone eventually because you want to be at your best. And if
of course.
that's what gets you on, why not?
What's been your most fun innings? I'm not going to ask you what's been your best innings. What's been your most fun
Mhm.
innings? Because I actually got asked this in an interview a couple of months ago. I was doing something and they said, "What's been your most fun innings?" And I was like, "Shit, I've never been asked this before. It's always, what's your best innings? What had the most impact? What's been the most fun? The one where you just got, that was so much fun. It's just like, Jesus, I just got there and I just went bang, 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 bang. Do you have any?
Ah,
It's
yeah,
a
I do
tough
have one.
question, isn't it?
Yeah, I do have one. It was against Kings 11 in the IPL. It was, I think, a 14 over game or 15 over game, and I got 112 overs.
I remember.
And yeah, so that was one of the days where I felt like, geez, I'm just connecting everything, and you just felt like you couldn't get out. And I've never felt like that before. Just to be able to hit every ball and not
Yeah.
have that fear of getting out, it was amazing. So that has been my most fun innings. What about you?
And talking, mate, it was such a
Tell
long
me
time
yours. Tell
ago.
me yours. Do
Huh?
you remember? I'm
No, it's
sure
too
you
long
don't remember
ago.
any of your innings after I got you out stumped.
You know, I was going to talk about your
Let's talk
bowling
about it.
there, but 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 the one before I get to your beautiful length that you used to bowl and that very traditional action.
Excellent.
What you talk about fear, and there'll be a lot of youngsters watching this, and people say, "Oh, play
Mm-hmm.
without fear. Don't worry about the
Mm-hmm.
consequences." For youngsters watching this, in your position, walking out to bat. Now, you're lucky. You've made it in the game. You're the best that's playing at the moment. Your numbers are fantastic. At the start of your career, or in the middle of your career, even now, what's been your lowest? The lowest you've been. What's the lowest you've been in your career?
I think the lowest point in my career was the England tour in 2014, where that's one phase where I felt like, when as a batsman, you're going to get out in the morning when you wake up. That was the time I felt like that there's
Shit,
no chance I'm getting runs.
really?
And yeah, to be able and still to get out of bed and just get dressed for the game and to go out there to go through that knowing that you will fail was
Yeah.
something that just ate me up. It just demolished me completely. And I promised myself I'm never going to allow myself to feel like that ever again in life. But that was the lowest point and that happened for all the younger guys listening to think right in the game. That happened because I was too focused on doing well from a personal point of view. I
Wow.
wanted to get run. I could never
Right.
think of what does the team want me to do in this situation. I just got too engulfed with England tour. If I perform here, Test cricket, in my mind, I'm going to feel established and all that crap on the outside, which
Yeah.
was not important at all. It just ate me up. I just kept going into a downward spiral, and I just couldn't get out of it. Horrible.
And technique-wise, is it all about just making sure that you prepare well? I talk about training well, making sure that the day before you don't leave any stone unturned, so that whatever happens in the bright lights just happens, but you've got to be able to practice well. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. But when you're playing so many games now, and me and AB have spoken about this quite a bit, we don't come to every session and we don't bat for long periods anymore. So if I have two sessions of batting and I go to the first one and the first one's precise, I would take the next day off, relax, make sure I'm physically right and good to go 120%. I would not go to the ground just for the sake of it. If I'm not getting anything out of that practice session, I will not go to the stadium anymore. So that's obviously a gradual change, but at the start of my career, I wanted to learn, I wanted to see as much as I could. I wanted to observe other people, and that was a different kind of preparation back then.
Mm.
But now it's become sort of different, and I think technique also it's everything's mental. I mean, you've played in a time where you were walking and hitting fast bowlers. Coaches don't teach you that, so it's
Yeah.
it's it's innovation. It's staying ahead of the opponent. It's thinking one step ahead of the opponent. And these things, if you're aware, if you're thinking about how to win the game for your team, these things come to you. If you're too personal in your approach, you're too self-centered, you're thinking only about yourself, then you're just looking for ways to get out eventually. Because people are going to find you out. You're not getting out of your
Mm.
comfort zone because you don't want to fail. So this is a gradual sort of transition that happens over the years. But as a youngster, I was at every practice session. I was in there. I just
Yeah.
wanted to be watching people, observing, asking questions, asking questions. I think conversations are the most important thing for any cricketer.
Yeah, you say I used to run it batters, and they don't coach that. They also don't coach the switch hit, something that you can't do. So at least there's something I can do that you can't do.
Yeah, I know. And something that you will never be able to do, and I did, which was to get you out.
That's where we're moving on to now. I want to tell every single person watching this that I mean I would love to show you our WhatsApps. he's mentioned about 75,000 times in the last 3 or 4 days since we said we'd do this interview. When can I talk about how I got you out? When can I? And I can't remember.
You can't remember? I don't know exactly. I think it was Southampton T20, if I'm not wrong.
Stump
I'm
down the
not
next
sure.
side.
It was your famous one leg flick where you took your back leg off the crease and MS got you stumped. And by the way, I'm the only bowler in cricket history. Know this. I'm the only bowler in the history of cricket to get a wicket in international cricket without bowling a legitimate delivery, and you were the batsman. I got you
Seriously?
stumped on a wide ball. It was 0 balls, 1 wide, 1 wicket. No one's done that. No one. Wow, thank you so much.
The thing is, there's method in my madness, mate. I just wanted to be able to produce something for you that was something we could talk about if in the future years. When you join us in the commentary box, it'll be something we talk about, that we show. I mean, it's friendship.
You know, I saw you walking off, and you wouldn't even look at me. I was celebrating. You were so embarrassed. You just looked down and you walked away. And I laughed so hard after that game. I was like, bloody hell, he didn't want to look at me because I would have laughed in your face. Oh, wow.
I think I might have broken a bat there, actually, because I just thought, Jesus, I can just see this coming. Forever, he's going to abuse me. Forever. And it's still happening. And that was, what, 9 years ago? Prick. The thing is, as well, it's MS too. So, I mean, I was having some fun with commentary with MS a few years ago. And, Jesus, he never got me out. So there's a lot of people who'll be watching this too that always say, oh, you're MS Dhoni's first test wicket. I referred it and it was not out. Remember?
Yeah.
And they were, I'm your first test wicket. I'm your first. He even fucking said it on commentary when I was
Yeah, but
look,
the thing is, MS has a point because it came up on the stump mics, but nothing came up on the hotspot. So he has a point.
Bullshit. Don't you start backing him. Yours was out. You got me out. He never got me out.
Mine was legitimate. You can never question that.
Yes.
You didn't even look to go back. You just walked off.
No, I was never getting out to MS. To you, I don't mind. But at least that action, I could at least sort of talk about. Well, I didn't really pick it up. It came at an angle. It came at that kind of angle. MS had a bit of a conventional thing, so I was like, I cannot get out to that. That is filth.
That is the fast bowling.
Who's the best? Who's your favorite batting partner? Before we'll finish off with fans on social media now.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your favorite batting partner?
Favorite batting partner? 2 people that I've enjoyed the most batting with. I love guys who can run really well and who understand my calling and intent to run. So I think MS, when playing for India, we've run the best together, and AB otherwise. I mean, AB and me are like, we don't even need to say anything. It's just the partnership flows. We don't talk cricket as well in between, and it's just amazing. Yeah.
Brother, I've got a load of stuff here that I just want to go over, just fans, social media, and I mean, I suppose we play to entertain. We play for the fans. We're sitting in a situation at the moment where we're having to entertain on Instagram Live because you can't go and slap bowlers all over the Chinnaswamy Stadium because of what's happening in the world. But how important are fans to you? How important? I mean, I just did a little thing here now. Social media. I looked on Instagram now. Ronaldo, 210 million followers. Messi, 146 million followers. You've got 53 million followers. You've got Federer at 7 million, Hamilton at 15 million, Tom Brady at 7 million, McIlroy at 2 million, Bolt at 9 million. Does that come with responsibility?
It does. It does. Honestly, I see a lot of backing and love from genuine fans on social media now. The good thing about social media now is that they're able to show you that support and that love in times that other people are not really willing to. So I think I felt this over the years that, the number of people that like you and that appreciate what you do, their intent, their energy, it really motivates you and it pushes you in the right direction, to be honest. Because without their contribution, without their energy and them wishing well for you, you wouldn't be able to do what you're doing on a daily basis. There's no chance. to be able to get this motivation every day. You walk into a stadium, people are just shouting your name, 30, 40,000 of them. You just get into a zone. There's no denying that. So, I mean, these are things that you can't replicate anywhere else. And I absolutely have total respect for that. You know, fans that genuinely love the game, genuinely love what you do, and they respect good and bad equally. Hats off to them, honestly. Big respect.
I tell you something, you talk about the fans going crazy. I mean, when you walk on the field anywhere in India or wherever, I mean, it's chaos. And I remember playing with Tendulkar, with Sehwag, with UV and MS, and it being exactly the same way. One thing I will tell you is that when that happens now and you say you get into the zone, just appreciate it. Because if I think there's one thing that I miss, I remember playing all those days and you walk onto the field. I remember just playing at the Ferocia Kotla for Delhi and having that one bumper season. And for the rest of the time, it was just like every time I walked out, KP, like you've got to just, you really have got to just, you've almost got to just bottle it up and just remember it. Because, dude, those are the best days of your life when people are going crazy like that.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think these are things that one needs to appreciate. We are a bunch of the lucky few that get to experience this.
Yeah.
Even today, with, you speak about difficult times now, and you understand that the kind of place you are in right now, you said you have space to move around, you have a garden, you have a pool. I see the current situation where people don't have jobs, they're struggling on a daily basis.
Yeah.
You can't have any other feeling than to be grateful. Just have the most amount of gratitude you can, because God has put us in a place where we don't have to go through those moments. And if in this place as well, we sit down and complain about things, I don't think that that's fair. So, just looking at what's happening all over the world, it just makes you feel, where was I really heading? Which direction does my life really want to go in? And I think this time will really make us all reflect on it. So, yeah, this is indeed a blessing that we have.
I'm going to finish off now. We're going to finish off just with some fans' questions. I went through a load of them. There's about 5 or 6 here, and then I just want one other thing, and then you're done and dusted. You can go back to sweeping the floor and mopping your bathroom. Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo.
Why?
Work ethic, drive, passion. All the crap, noise on the outside, deflect it, move ahead, know what you need to do, and just get done.
Will you shave your beard off?
No, never.
Why? Chiku!
No, I don't have cheeks anymore, but
Chiku!
I look horrible without a beard, so I would never have shaved it off. Never.
Favorite destination to go with your missus? No cricket. Favorite destination?
No cricket. Queenstown. We went the year before, we went to New Zealand. Last year, 2019. Queenstown, hands down #1. And then wildlife safari in South Africa. We need to come to your lodge next.
Yeah, well, let's hope we get some time. It's crazy there. I mean, it's amazing, that whole tourism industry, the whole travel industry. I mean, there in Kaziranga, where I was a couple of weeks ago, that's completely shut down for tourism. And then South Africa is completely shut for tourism. And goodness, and so many of my mates there now. I mean, we've had to close our lodge. We're looking after our staff and making sure that they've got 100% pay, because they are just amazing. But geez, it's a sad situation. But you'll do that. You guys will get out there for sure. Favorite cricketing memory?
Actually, coincidentally, you just called me on the day that we won the World Cup, so that has to be the favorite cricketing memory for me.
Was that 2011?
Yeah, today.
Really? Okay.
What a day to call, KB!
And I'll only like this one if you answer it the right way. Now be very careful how you answer this, because this could end badly for you. Your favorite commentator?
My favorite commentator is... It's easy. My favorite... No, it's not you. Come on. My favorite commentator is... Nasser?
Okay, me. That's perfect. Too long to answer the
Okay.
question. Thank you, me. That's fine. Perfect.
Okay. Go on.
Digger.
ठीक है. ठीक है. Go on.
Digger. And then I'm going to say there's two more things now. Tell me about that. You told me about this the other day that are very interesting because I've never known anything about it. Your foundation that looks after all the non-cricketing athletes. What's that all about?
Yeah. Set up the foundation in 2013, got it registered in 2016. Then we started collecting funds. We started doing events, dinners, charity functions, fundraisers, a few auctions here and there. And then eventually we started giving out these scholarships. So we understood the challenges. So in India in cricket, we have decent facilities to be able to make a career out of playing cricket, and you have enough academies and places to practice. But other sports, there are not many places that you can go and have quality practice, quality facilities. So we wanted to identify for sport in general in the country, who are these people? And we have a panel of elite sports people who have played for the country, represented in different sports over the years. So they select people, they track their progress, young kids, 14, 15, 16, who have potential to eventually go on and become world-class athletes, maybe Olympic medal winners or something like that as well. So
Wow.
we take care of their progress. We provide nutrition. We have a few tie-ups with hospitals, nutrition companies. We provide coaches to them as well. We provide counseling as well through these experts that I mentioned. So yeah, we track their progress, and
all over India.
The guys, sorry.
All over India.
All over India, yeah. All sports.
Wow.
So we obviously track their performance. Anyone who's doing really well and we feel like they don't have the right kind of facilities, we just pull them out, bring them into the program, and just give them a scholarship where we say, we're going to take care of you, we're going to send you to tournaments, take care of your travel, nutrition, you don't need to worry about anything. So we just give them an opportunity, a platform, and a chance.
Amazing. Well done, mate. Well done. The last, I actually thought there's one more thing, but there's one other thing. Golf. Am I going to get you into the game of golf?
Never.
Why? What's wrong with you?
Because you haven't played golf with me. I played golf with Boucher, Callis, Dale in 2008. We went to a golf course in Bangalore, and I just couldn't keep my legs in place. I just kept hitting everything over covers because I would clear my leg and slog it like we do in cricket. And they said, you got to fetch the ball and play it again. I was like, no way I'm playing this sport again. They bloody sent me into the bushes 3 times. I was like, thank you. Take your golf club, I'm going in.
Your missus has just put a message up there. Chalo, 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 dinner time. So I'm going to ask you one more question.
Beautiful.
The last one, and I think probably the most important, your favorite form of the game and why?
Test cricket. 5 times.
Amazing. Why, buddy?
Yeah. Why? Because Test cricket for me is actually it's a representation of life. To be honest, you gotta keep going when you don't score runs. You gotta clap for everyone else when you haven't scored a run. You gotta give everything that you have. You gotta go back into your room, have that same routine, wake up every morning, come out to play whether you've done well or not. And in life, you have to do the same. You just don't have an option of not competing or not participating. So for me, Test cricket is life, and I've learned the most. Playing Test cricket, it's made me a better person.
Amazing. And you know what? I said that the other day when they said that they wanted 4-day test matches, and you came out very strongly and you said, no, I'm not interested in 4-day test matches. I only wanted 5-day test matches. They try to get me to do something quite lengthy in a debate show. And I said, guys, the facts of the matter are that Virat doesn't want 4-day test matches. So 4-day test matches ain't happening. And on that note, go and enjoy your vegetables. Have a banana.
Cheers.
I love you, brother.
Cheers, KP. Thanks. Good to see you.
Bye, buddy. Bye, mate. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.